And we're live. Let's just confirm. Hold on one second. Check, check, check. Yep, we're looking good. Okay. Welcome, everybody. Episode 2 of Convos, brought to you by theDirtyKenzo Productions. I am Murph, a.k.a. theDirtyKenzo, bringing you thought-provoking content this and every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Hope you guys are having a great night. Check out last week's episode with mine and Queen Kel's son, Junior. He did the episode with us last week. This week, you see, I am flying solo. We'll run through a couple hellos before we get into the show. Victor Coco, Chucky Bills, Vic LFM, my brother, my little schmoopy. P3. Yeah, they was calling you PP, and I'm like, there's 3 P's in there. You could just say P3. Kathy Stevens, great to see you. Always. Oh, shit, I'm sorry. Engine Joe, great to see you. Great to see you, brother, always. Thursday. All right, guys, if you're just coming in, it may look a little different than the other times. I did cut wrenches back. Once again, nothing personal. It's just to make things look a little more professional and a little more inviting to newcomers. I figured the ones that I really, the ones that really tune in and support, I figure, wouldn't be that big a deal and they'd still be here regardless. Pammy, my sis, appreciate you. So yeah, guys, I got a few clips for you guys tonight. We're only going to be on for 1 hour this week. G-Dub Quinn does have a show scheduled for 9 p.m. Excuse me. If Ahmad can drop G-Dub's link, I think I have it as well. G-Dub will be live after me, 9 p.m. here on the East Coast. But we're going to break down some news. I have a few clips of some things that are going on, in the country, and I just looking, stepping back and taking a look at everything. I felt the thing we could speak on and try to understand a little better is the levels of hatred and what kind of things can lead people to certain things. So not sure how we'll do the 1 hour format yet. We may do a panel, we may not, because of the time restraint. If we do a panel, I'll drop the link. Can have up to 10 people, but I like to keep it somewhat orderly. Let's not talk over each other. Rules. This will be our first talking about it. So, here on Convos, things are a little different. There will be rules for the panel, no talking over each other, especially talking over me, the host. I'll try not to do the same to the guests, of course. We like to keep things as fair as possible. But I want everybody's opinions heard. I don't want anyone screaming over each other. Emotions can make any debate, have problems. But I think a debate can really fix a lot of things. Civil discourse, civil debate, you can really make a lot of change. So as I was saying, guys, it seems anymore you turn on the news, all you see is, just like I said, hatred. Just I don't understand the levels. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the shootings that happened in the last few days, as well as something that happened in Memphis, as well as something in the hometown of Philadelphia. So we got a few news clips for you today. We're going to play those, break down a little bit before and after. Okay, I read that wrong. Just got a notification that I read wrong. We'll do a little breakdown before and after each. But I just feel like, with Convos, we could get these things said and out there in case people may have not heard about it. And as always, you get that, Kenzo POV. So yeah, guys, firstly, there was a sad to say, California the other day, there's a shooting in Monterey Park, mass shooting, an elderly man. And sadly, both of these first 2 cases here, you'll hear the ages are elderly men. And, I think there's a lot of confusion, anger, misunderstanding in people nowadays. And I think things such as right and left wing, they give people something to feed into, something to fuel those hatred and evil feelings they may have. Excuse me. So yeah, once again, our thoughts and prayers go to all those who were affected. In first, the Monterey Park mass shooting out in California. Please make sure you guys are hitting that like button, subbing and sharing, joining a live chat. You can contribute to the brand through Cash App, theDirtyKenzo. You are not obligated, but greatly appreciate it. We know it's your hard-earned money, and we greatly appreciate it. So, guys, as I said, first we're going to take a look at, the Monterey Park mass shooting. We have a small clip.
There was a handgun, as I described, that was discovered in the van with the suspect. The weapon that was recovered from the Alhambra location, in which, remember, the suspect went to the Alhambra location after he conducted the shooting, and he was disarmed by two community members who I consider to be heroes because they saved lives. This could have been much worse.
Thank you to the Telegraph for their clip there. Salute, Donnie. Yeah, I know Tam she wanted to end for this, but I know she got a doozy up there after that. So, no, I don't mind. Listen, people could go where they want. People could be live when they want. I'm not going to really I know some people, it really bothers them. Some people really bitch about it. That stuff, I can't tell people I do what I want on my phone and then exactly have, hurt feelings when they do it. I mean, not in this case, of course. Tam is like family, but Honda Mommy Day One's in the building. Salute to Dawn again, in case I missed you. I think I said hi to Dawn. But yeah, guys, you see there, 70-year-old man. They're identifying him. Apologies on the first name. I'll just identify the last name as Tran. They're saying Lunar New Year, which I believe is what most of us would have used to call Chinese New Year. I may be mistaken on that. I'm just assuming that's the name change, for to be more politically correct, so to speak. But yeah, mass shooting, Monterey, California, 71-year-old man. They're saying this is a gentleman from this community, I believe. And I just feel like with these mass shooters, there's just a level of hatred that the common person may not ever feel. Those of us here in the chat, the live chat, and those even listening in the future of this, you may hear it and think, oh, I've been angry, but I don't understand that level of anger. And it's honestly, I think there's a mental illness effect to it. A lot of mass shooters aren't all right upstairs, so to speak. But to be 71 years old, and to unleash this type of pain, on your own community is what the reports are coming out. It's hard to understand. It's hard for us to understand. Adair, salute. P3, a chemical imbalance. I do. It has to be, right? It has to be a chemical imbalance. When you hear of this, what's the show? One of the, police, FBI, CIA type shows, but they always have the unsub, the unidentified suspect. And a lot of those guys, they go, all right, well, here's clue. We can put this together that this guy You know, they can tell you what the guy looks like just from some of his movements and actions and things of that nature. And that's like, okay, so if we can classify that, then why are we need to start touching on those things now before these things happen. You know, find out why every mass shooter feels alone, feels abused, even if those situations might not obtain to them. You know, I do think a lot of times people miss the warning signs, not to shame anyone. I don't want to take anything. I don't mean it that way. But sometimes we'll see those in our life, important people in our lives, and they'll make a comment. And you're like, okay, that's a little past dark humor. I think that's, that the subconscious speaking maybe, or someone will make a comment that you feel is way out of line, or things of that nature. Like I'll tell you guys now, you walk in and you find, like, here's a hypothetical for you. You walk in and your child is killing an animal, killing and torturing an animal. What would you do? Wendy, Becky, it's horrible to even think about, but it's, they say a lot of serial killers, a lot of murderers, a lot of people involved in sex crimes. A lot of them, will kill and torture animals when they're younger, or torture family members, sexually abused family members. It's, when we see, I do ask, and I wonder, I ponder, if you will, how many of these serial killers did a mom, dad, uncle, grandma, cousin walk in on abusing an animal? They find their journal and it's kill everyone. And we don't find out about this until after a mass shooting, or, that's the common trend when it's a younger person. In this case here, again, I'll play the clip again in a sec for anyone that missed it. Tam in the building, streets of Scotland in the building. I see y'all. Thank y'all for coming over. From my sister Tam's over here to the Dirty Kenzo. This is Convos, Tuesdays at 8. We talk about life. We talk about all kinds of shit. So make sure you guys are in that like button. We're about 15 minutes in. We're rocking an hour tonight. So please join the conversation ASAP. Perpetual platypus, he says, plus parents aren't really looking at what's going on with their kids. You're so right about that. We actually spoke on that a few weeks ago. I think Heaven. Okay. Salute to the nieces and nephews. We love them. Elizabego, salute. Lady, fresh perspective. Can we get the mods, if you can you drop some content creators links to the content creators in the chat? Sam, Lady Fresh, Perpetual, Honda Mommy, all the content creators. Can we get their links dropped, please? And thank you. I totally agree with that. We spoke on that a few weeks ago. There's a lot of parents. We spoke on the tablet, the phone, the laptop is the babysitter. We just hand it to the child, and then the mom, the dad, they're on their shit. They're doing the same thing. We've all become zombies and slaves, so to speak, to our devices. But when you have that virtual babysitter, and it's nowadays, I mean, we gave our kids phones at 13 and 14. I think that's when most kids get them, at 12, 13 years old. If you find something like this in your child's phone, can any of us say we would call the police? We would. I mean, the responsible thing to do, at the least, I would believe, would be able to try to reach out for some kind of psychiatric help, to speak with someone to understand why the brain's working this way. I think it gets hard for parents, though, as well. If you're in a situation where you feel this child isn't abused, this child's well taken care of, me and his mother love each other. Sometimes we don't, as was said in the chat a little bit ago, chemical imbalance. So, you can have parents that don't understand at all. Why is this child this way? We raise them right. We, blah, blah, blah. And there's a chemical imbalance in the young man, or in the person, we'll say, in the person's brain, which is hard to understand. But again, I do propose the hypothetical to everyone, ATG Barnes sponsored the channel, my brother. Appreciate you. Adair says Murphy can't change the world. We can only be an example. I agree. Tupac said I may not be the one to change the world, but I hope to spark the mind that does. My daughter was 12 when she had a friend. A 70-year-old man, what went wrong there? That's a great question. I couldn't agree more. Thursday, 71. As I said, in the next case you'll see, I believe the gentleman is 66, and it's you feel like it. I don't understand the selfishness, because a lot of these guys will self-delete, is the way to say it politely, online, but take their own lives afterwards. And sometimes you'll see, you know, I have a problem with this group, so I'm going to take this group out, you know, but there's innocent bystanders always involved. And it's how selfish can you be to just involve people? You know, there was a Walmart shooter a few weeks ago, if you guys remember, not long ago. And it's like, yo, what about the Walmart customers? Not the people you work with, the people who pissed you off, people that hurt your feelings, whatever. What about the people who are in Walmart shopping to go get a loaf of bread, to go get those pair of pants to start a new job, to go get the boots to start a new job, to anything, to go buy that new video game with their birthday money? And you're so selfish. You not only take people's lives, but you implant trauma in everyone's lives, mainly the people involved. But I believe all of us have been traumatized and manipulated to an extent. Me and Kels were watching some 9/11 content on Netflix last night, and it kind of hit me like a ton of bricks to think that, like, how traumatized, how, what's the word I'm looking for here? How desensitized have we become? You know, since we've seen two towers blow up live on the news, you know, and everything before and after, getting, you know, 2014, getting that news flash, and Newtown, Connecticut, shooting at an elementary school, you know, all of our hearts dropping, even if knowing we're not in Connecticut, going, oh my God, a kindergarten class. Do you know what I mean? Like, the trauma, the constant decent, you know, check. Here's someone getting, a newscaster getting shot. Here's a mass shooting here. Here's one here. How desensitized have we become as a people? I think someone could get shot in the head in front of some of us, and because of motion pictures, we've probably seen what it closely resembles to what it's actually like. So, you know, movies have become very realistic in that vein. So it's just crazy to think of. And that's why, you know, the question posed, where do these levels of hatred come from? We've all had hate. We've all had hatred. You know, somebody does, you know, your wife dirty, your mother dirty, your child dirty. You do gain a hatred for them. If you had an abusive stepdad, or quote, mother's boyfriend, some wouldn't call him a stepdad. If you were in that type of situation, you would grow to hate that person. Now, is that the same level of hate that someone decides to lock and load and go to a New Year's celebration? Is that the same level of hate someone decides to drive through a parade? I don't think so. I think they're different levels. I think there's different circumstances, and I totally think there's definitely, you know, something psychologically wrong there with the mass shooter. You know, they all have baby dicks, so they're overcompensated, and that's what it is. They're so embarrassed that they have the micro dicks, so they kill people. How selfish can you be, again, to just not only take lives, but to, you know, traumatize people to that extent? It's madness. But we will play the clip again. We'll play the Monterey clip one more time, and then we'll be getting into the next clip of, sadly, a second mass shooting in California. So any of y'all that may have missed it, this once again is the mass shooting in Monterey Park. All information will be on the screen. They don't vocally say this one, but the information will be on the screen. Please read, like, sub, and share if you can. Greatly appreciate you guys. And thank you guys for kicking ass in the live chat as always.
There was a handgun, as I described, that was discovered in the van with the suspect. The weapon that was recovered from the Alhambra location, in which, remember, the suspect went to the Alhambra location after he conducted the shooting, and he was disarmed by two community members who I consider to be heroes because they saved lives. This could have been much worse.
Once again, thank you to Telegram for their clip. Salute Mama, Tommy D, Pilato. I see y'all in the chat. Appreciate you guys tonight. We are checking out some of the sad cases in recent days. Can't even say weeks. And I just wanted to speak a little bit on the hatred. As I was saying, before I just played the clip again, the levels of hatred. Like we've all known hate. But to go past a level where you're going to take your own life and you're taking as many people that you can with you, I think there's a sickness there, and I wonder what creates it, what starts it. Is it part of a personality type? So, just prayers up for everybody involved in that shooting in Monterey Park. Again, a Lunar New Year's festival. People celebrating a new year, what we used to call Chinese New Year, I believe. Apologies to anyone if I'm wrong. The timing seemed right with political correctness. It all fit. But sadly, as the news was rolling in on the Monterey case, as they're getting more information, who's the perp, as they said, and why, if you will. There was another shooting out in California. They were saying authorities were fearing it may have been a copycat, which is always going to be a scary situation, because then is there going to be a copycat of the copycat? When does the pain stop? When people are trying to heal from feeling that innocence stolen, and then fuck ripping the band-aid off. Someone stabs you in the bullet wound, so to speak, pardon the pun. But yeah, prayers up for everyone in Monterey Park, as well as the second shooting. This video will be a little longer. Salute to all the sources. These news sources, all rights belong to them. We appreciate their outlook, and we try to keep our news as unbiased as possible. Hit that like button for me, guys. We're about to hit 8:30, about halfway through our show. We'll be sending everybody over to our brother G-Dub Quinn after. But I invite everyone in the chat to give their opinion on what would lead someone to those levels of hate. In your opinion, of course, none of us are doctors here. This is all opinion-based. We're regular, civilians, so to speak, and these are just our opinions on the world we see as we see it. Also, I do propose the hypothetical to everyone. You walk in, your child's doing something that's linked to serial killers. To give you the hypothetical, you walk in, your child's killing an animal. What do you do? Jokingly, I say after you're done whooping their ass, because I'm sure that's what most of us would just lose a piece of our sanity in that moment. But yeah, once again, guys, prayers up to everyone in California dealing with the tragic events of both of these shootings.
The grief is still raw. All the names of the 11 victims gunned down in a dance hall near Los Angeles haven't even been disclosed. And yet, incredibly, police yesterday found themselves responding to a new massacre.
Come here, hands up.
This was the moment when police arrested the gunman, whose car was right outside the sheriff's office. In eerily similar parallels to the weekend's deadly rampage, this latest attacker was also an older Asian man, named as 67-year-old Chun-Li Zhao, and some of his victims were also Chinese American, just like the ballroom dancers shot and killed on Saturday night. Yesterday's incident began around 2:30 in the afternoon in the small coastal city of Half Moon Bay, about 30 miles south of San Francisco. The shootings occurred in 2 separate locations, both small farms. Police first discovered 4 dead bodies, believed to be workers, and a 5th person who was critically injured and taken to hospital. Then 3 others were found shot and killed at a second site. The motive of the gunman is not clear, though he is believed to be a worker at one of the 2 farms.
This is a horrific event.
So as you guys see, a second event, an elderly Asian man opening fire. Now this was 2 locations, which I was unaware of, even myself. Killing 5 people, going to another location. It's just horrible. It's so crazy when these situations happen, because in one way, I know we want to be like, well, what made it happen? You know what I mean? I think a lot of us would do that. Our brains are just going to automatically go to that. Well, what made them do it? And it's like, I don't think that's the right question to be even asking. Like, I feel sometimes it kind of takes away from the victims a bit, but I just think it's we'll say, oh, well, what led him to do that? Was he being bullied on the job? And we can't, many people get bullied on the job. No one comes in shooting up their job the next day. You know, what snaps, what part of the brain is missing to make someone just snap and go down that route? And I do appreciate our, you know, UK family, our Canada family. I will say this, you know, to everyone, I would just let's just take a step back then and sum it up as violence. It doesn't have to be gun violence. Let's sum it up as violence. Violence is on the rise everywhere. The UK, I hear of, you know, stabbings and knife crimes are up. Yeah, now I know I don't watch the news much either. These are the things I find when I do, right? But it just feels like the anger, hurt, pain is up so much. Crime is up everywhere. You know, they're saying the UK with the stabbings are up. They're saying, obviously, America with our you know, our mass shootings, our gun issues, things of that nature. You know, and then of course the conspiracy theorist in me always kicks in, of course, ladies and gentlemen. And then I wonder why 2 elderly Asian men. What's the fascination with Asian this year? You know, stop Asian hate. Now that, you know what I mean? It's like, why do these certain little trigger points, or, you know, talking points, why do they just keep coming up? It's just the same as, you know, we have our UK friends and family in here. If they just listen to the news, not getting those firsthand perspectives, they think it was the Wild West over here. And, you know, I wonder if sometimes I do feel where people think that these things are being pushed to try to, you know, some kind of gun control. And that, you know, that is a scary thought, because the only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. I mean, not that there's a such thing as a good guy. This isn't a fairy tale. But, I mean, we've seen it in recent times, mass shootings in a school, and people are waiting, you know, while our babies are in there. And people aren't going to do that. I mean, if you're armed, I think that's what happens all the time. Oh, the shootings. And it's like that demonizes the responsible gun owner. There are gun owners in America today that only fire their gun at the gun range. They don't take it out to play with it. They don't show everybody they hang out with. It's not a metal dick on their hip that they have to flaunt all day, as the media would try to portray. I know responsible gun owners that you don't know they're gun owners. They have it that it's not a toy. It's not a game. It's an instrument, a tool that can take a life. It's the same thing if you're holding, you know, when in Japan, if someone handed you a katana, that's a dangerous weapon handled in a certain way. And it's not a fucking game. It's not a toy. Anything that could end someone's life with one false move needs to be taken seriously with the utmost respect. period. I think there's no other, you know, I think that ends there. Godshot, I would agree. America is like no other country. 240, almost 250 years of, you know, quote, freedom. But there are more guns than Americans. But what do? You make a gun ban. The war on drugs has showed us that criminals don't give a fuck about the law. They're going to say, fuck your law, I'm still keeping my gun. So now we have responsible gun owners turning theirs in, and the good guys fucked. Next, your house is robbed, the police don't get there. I mean, excuse me, not robbed. Next year there's an intruder in your home, you call the police, they can't get there in less than 5 minutes anywhere. Like, let's be realistic. That's not a stab at them. It's impossible. You have to live next door to the police station. Like, the best way to protect yourself is to protect yourself. Yes, you should call them, because we're not vigilantes. We're not out here in the Wild West. We're not killing people and getting away with it anyway. So no, you make that call, but you have that there to protect you and your family at all costs. You know, but it's when we have people who lose their fucking minds, they go over the edge and they do heinous things like this. It looks bad on everybody. It looks bad on everybody. There, I was saying that about the, I was just watching something last night about 9/11. Dare, we have fun on the radio shows. This one's like more the, you know, thought. We do have fun. I can't wait to get 2 bad opinions. If my brother Barnes still here, we needed bad opinions ASAP. We're gonna have some fun with 2 bad opinions, believe that. But yeah, I don't know what leads to it. And then, you know, we're going to get into another case here. I don't know if you guys have heard about this one. But I think it still breeds to our topic, this hatred in people's heart, just hatred for other people. People will, you know, I think 50 years ago, the rate of people who would save someone in trouble, I think that number has dropped substantially. People, you know, there's so many people that it's all about me and mine. And, you know, Frank, Morals Over Money, salute our brother. He's the one that really changed my perspective on that, because I was the same way. I'll protect me and mine, fuck everybody else. Everybody else lives and works and fucking goes to school with and goes to the store with you, and you have to be around other people, your children, you know. So you can't just be an introvert who never meets up with everybody. You're going to be around people. You're going to have to deal with people. So to say, oh, I'm only worried about me and mine, no, you have to worry about your community, because your children will be in that community. I want to be able to sleep at night knowing my kids can fucking walk the street safely to and from school. And when they're there, they're safe. That's what we, as Americans, as earthlings, as fucking humans, that's what we want. We want to be able to have that peace of mind. Life is all about peace of mind. I say this all the time. In my line of work, this is what I use it as a selling point. Oh, you need what done? The carpet? All right, listen. Bang, bang, bang. No worries. Peace of mind. You want peace of mind, the work's done. I want peace of mind, I get paid. Are we good? We're good. And, you know, I think everyone wants that peace of mind. Can my child go to school? I mean, we drop our children off and we pick our children up. Can I be confident in the capabilities of this group of people to take my child from my vehicle into a building for 6 hours and back? And, you know, sadly, too many parents have had to learn the lesson a very tragic, hard way, that they lost their little ones, their babies, because of that hatred. Some mistakes made by some, you know, led to some children being killed. The school shootings. There's so much compounded on top of each other. One slight mistake led to this, on top of this person's hatred, and it's just, you know. And then, you know, getting into our next clip here, it doesn't stop when our elected officials, or those we hire in these positions of authority have hatred in their heart and take things too far. And I don't know if you guys have maybe heard about this. There's a case in Memphis. A young man was beaten by the police to the point of a coma. I believe he has passed since. Yesterday, I believe, or the day before, all 5 officers have been charged, different crimes. And I just, again, that hatred, you know, this is a young black man. All 5 police officers are young to middle-aged black men as well. And you have to have hatred in your fucking heart for 5 people to beat one person, to the limits. It seems this young man was, you know, traumatized as well. You know, like I said, our word of the day is hatred, but traumatized is one I think hangs itself pretty closely. So make sure you guys are hitting that like button for me. Thank you for joining us. Convos episode 2, hatred. We looked at the 2 mass shootings in California. We give all thoughts and prayers to those folks going through a very, very hard time. And of course, as well as this case in Memphis, to the family of the victim. And unfortunately, we don't like to do it in these times of anger, of course, but to the police officers' wives, family, mothers, fathers, you know, they got to walk through this world now knowing that their significant other murdered a man with some of his coworkers, or if he wasn't murdered, you know, severely beat. You know, I don't think we think of those people when things like this happen. We go, oh, fuck that mass shooter. He deserved to kill, you know, to take his own life. And then we go, well, what about his wife who had no idea it was coming? Yeah, let's talk to her. Let's see if she had, oh, there was no hints. She had no idea. He had a secret life. How about that lady? How about a little empathy her way? So I think that, of course, we think of the young man, Tyre's family, and him as well, of course, but just to give a little empathy to the loved ones of the assailants. You know, they're victims in this in a way as well, because now their lives are gonna change over a bad mistake made by their significant other. So please make sure you're hitting that like button for us, guys. Appreciate it.
In a THV 11 update, 5 Memphis police officers all fired for their involvement in the death of 29-year-old Tyre Nichols. It all stems from a traffic stop that happened 13 days ago. Here's a look at the now former officers. The department saying its investigation found they used excessive force during that arrest and did nothing to intervene and help Nichols. Nichols died 3 days later at the hospital. His family saying he was so badly beaten they couldn't even recognize him. The next question many have is what kind of charges these former officers face. But the mayor of Memphis says that decision won't be up to them.
City government does not bring criminal charges. So criminal charges would not be within the purview of city government. It's only employment matters.
Now, of course, we can't forget there is a family at the center of all of this. They've been gathering with protesters this past week, calling for justice for Tyre, and they want him to be remembered for more than just the victim of this incident, but also as a loving young man, father, and son.
Tyre was a man. Tyre was a black man. Tyre was a beautiful black man.
Our family will never be the same because of the cruel act over a traffic stop.
We will settle for nothing less than a murder charge.
And tonight, we're also hearing from the family's attorney about the firings. Ben Crump releasing this statement saying this is the first step towards achieving justice for Tyre and his family. They must also be held accountable for robbing this man of his life and his son and the son of a father. He adds that they won't stop until they get full justice.
That's just a horrible case right there. Like, you beat this man to the point his family couldn't identify him. I mean, another news story had a picture of him on the bed, ventilator, and it looked like a Rocky film. Like, it's disgusting. 5 people beat this man. Like, you beat him to death. How bad did you have to beat him? I think there's a, I'll be the fucking one to walk the plank if I have to say I think there's a very big problem in the training of police. I think there are ideas that are old, out of touch. I think there are practices that are pure bullshit. Salute everybody in the chat. I have a friend, matter of fact, today was the last day he was a Philadelphia police officer. He had gotten injured after being a cop, was going to be a podcaster. He's still working on that, but left the force all the way because his heart just wasn't in it anymore. And I wonder how many other police officers are going through that. These questionings of faith, of moments of doubt. How can I be on the street policing these things that I don't believe in? We always hear when we got away, salute. We always hear these cases. Jacob Blake comes to mind where someone's shot in the back, and we say, why couldn't you shoot him in his legs if he, we got to shoot center mass. That's what they're taught. Shoot center mass. It's the easiest shot. Are you telling me that the police out here can't shoot? They can't make nothing but the easy shot? Then we need better training. I feel like from my experience and what I see, there's an attitude around the position. However, it's always fearing for their lives. But you're up there, you get this. I've seen police get disrespectful with 70-year-old women. You're like, oh, why are you yelling at an old lady, bro? Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, where is all this hatred being between? I'm not connecting the two clearly of police and mass shooters, but I am connecting the levels of hatred. To beat a man to death, to take lives in a mass shooting, there has to be a level of hatred inside you. Mike Dougie. It's crazy. Could you imagine being the mother and getting that phone call? Hi, this is Memphis PD. Your son's in the hospital. Traffic stop gone wrong. He's now fighting for his life. And I got one more clip for you guys tonight. And I thought this one, while it was a little less than these other cases, it just goes to show the small levels that some of these levels of hatred start on, the ground level, so to speak. Whether it be the bullying that starts in first grade, you hate the bully hates his fucking dad, and he hates the world, and he's taking it out on everybody. And we learned about that from bullying in first grade. But bullies are always there. I mean, I know, as you'll see in the clip, sometimes teenagers can bully adults. But I just think, this level of, I wouldn't even say hatred, it may be pettiness, but there is a level of hatred there to harass and assault someone for no reason, I would imagine. I mean, I'm not running up, Mike Dougie just popped in a chat, my brother Mike Dougie. I'm not going to run up and punch Mike Dougie, sneak him with love and happiness in my heart. Even if you're laughing at it, it's a malicious, a maniacal laugh. It's malicious intent. You're not punching somebody in the face like, oh, man, we are having the greatest day. You're like, no, I hate the world. So, I think you guys will see that a little bit in this clip. This is a clip from Philadelphia, my hometown. Been gone for a few years now. Sadly, the city has gone so downhill. Speaking to my mom, me and Kels were speaking to mom earlier today, and I said I could never move back. I could never move back to Kensington for sure. I could move back to parts of Philly, but I could never move back to North Philadelphia, Kensington, South. I'd have to live downtown or in the Northeast. I could never. And just to give you guys a little bit of a blueprint, so to speak, the Temple area is a weird area because not only do you have the college students, Temple is a medical school, so you'll get a lot of doctors, which brings you, you know, your whites, Asians, blacks, every race, Latinos as well. But you're in a neighborhood that's predominantly black. Now you're getting whites moving in, yuppies, so to speak. Gentrification is happening, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of conflict there between this quote yuppie side and the residents have lived there for generations. So yeah, once again, guys, Temple student assaulted. They were trying to carjack him as well. Make sure you're hitting that like button for us. We are talking hatred tonight, even on small levels such as this, where it seems to be bullying.
Developing tonight, Philadelphia police looking into an attack on a Temple student. It happened during an attempted robbery on Sunday, and the university now saying that they are aware of this incident. They're in touch with the student, and our Kelly Rule has the latest.
Today, I heard from the roommate of the 21-year-old student attacked. Fortunately, he told me he's physically doing okay, but this appears to be another random incident that has some students nervous.
It's really frightening.
Senior Bailey Lychak is one of the many Temple University students that saw the latest disturbing video involving an attack on a student. It shows 3 people quickly approaching the victim. The victim puts his arm out and one of the attackers swings at him, appearing to laugh.
It's very close to me, and it's really scary because things have been getting a lot worse around here. You definitely go out on the streets thinking like it could definitely happen to me. I've obviously prepared like a plan in my mind if it were to happen, and that's something that I feel like students shouldn't have to think about.
The university confirmed Philadelphia police are investigating. Keep Us Safe at Temple U Instagram was the first to share the video, saying they got a report from the victim's roommate that 3 teenagers tried to steal the student's car, threw cement at him, shattered his back window, and then threw cement at their apartment.
It just seems like people are attacking to attack. I mean,
Senior John Mangan runs the Instagram account. He's close friends with the victim's roommate.
it kind of shows that you hear about students being victims, but it can only be so long until maybe somebody you know or even yourself finds yourself in harm's way.
Students say they did not receive a TU alert.
And you know what's crazy is craziest about a situation like that is there's no way to prevent it. What, not walk down the street, not live, not be, not drive. It's wrong place, wrong time. I mean, when you deal with them situations on the street, that's always what it is. Of course, in school, your bully follows you around. He's always there. But your bully in the real world could be a stranger. Could be somebody walking down the opposite side of the street and thought you look like fresh meat. Look like an easy target. That's what it is, you know. And as I said, you see the divide. You know, you have 2 different communities trying to live together, trying to learn each other. And you know, some of these yuppies, these aren't the white kids that grew up close to the hood. So, you know, they may have never seen people of color in their entire life. And now, you know, they got guys walking up. You get a little guy, you know, as they said, he reached out his hand. So he's already reading the body language. He's knowing that's what's coming. You know, he's reaching the hand out as a, you know, defensive maneuver. But right there, as soon as you do that, that's it. Now, all 3. And you heard the laughter. So it comes as a bullying, you know. Salute Rich Martinez, the Cave, my brother Robert. Murph can't preach anti-bullying. He bullied me my whole life. It was different. It was different. Times was different. Salute Miss Bobby as well. I just think that, you know, there's so much fucking pain and so much trauma behind all of this stuff, behind whether it be the Temple case of, you know, a attempted carjacking turning into an assault, whether it be the you know, the case in Memphis of the young man being beaten by the 5 police to the point of death, or whether it be the 2 mass shootings in California, elderly Asian men pushed over the brink, so to speak, until the point where they taken lives and push that hatred onto somebody else. I think that's You know, that's something a lot of people don't think of, even when they take their lives. You're pushing the trauma onto someone else. The trauma doesn't end. The pain doesn't end. If you were to take your life, the pain don't end. It ends for you, but you just pass it on to your mother, your friends, your loved ones. You know, and then of course, then what comes from that? Resentment, hatred, more, and the vicious cycle never ends. So, guys, I really appreciate you guys having this combo with us tonight. We had a nice little serious one. I did have a little joke video for you guys. I was waiting till the very end to play it. Something that happened tonight, I made a little upload about. I wanted to show it to you guys. I wanted to wait till the very end, though, to separate, you know, this serious topic. Let's go to the chat for some comments. Bullying is so bad because these parents want to be their kids. Hold on. Because these parents want to be their kids' friends anymore. Need to whoop more asses. These kids have absolutely no respect for anything anymore. I agree. I agree. Come on. Come on, chat. Yeah, G-Dub's going live at 9 o'clock. Did he go yet? No, he didn't go yet. Yeah, G's going to go at 9 o'clock. I think he has an interview, if I'm not mistaken. But, yeah, definitely make sure. Next week's combos will be a 2-hour show, guys. Next week will be a 2-hour show. The second hour, we will be doing a panel. So we'll have the topics same way we did tonight. And then we'll drop the link. And, you know, like I said, we'll just have a certain set of ground rules. No talking over each other. And have respect for each other. Pretty basic. But I think sometimes that has to be, you know, certain things have to be said. Hard head makes for a soft ass, as they say, and a lot of motherfuckers around here is hard headed. Some shit on the internet anymore, I'm just like, Lord Jesus. And also, I'd like to say I had 2 people reach out, one to me, one to Kels this week. Me and Kels do not think anybody is a troll. We don't think any of you were on here trolling under a false name. So we are not doing any of that. So if you're being told that false information, I believe people have things in their lives just like we all do. And that's it. But I believe people are genuine. So I just wanted to, you know, just say that. Becky, yes, combo will be same time, same day, every Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern. Yes. I know it's a little late for you guys in the UK, and I love you guys for rocking out with us for sure. Think about it before you hear about the mass shootings the way you do. Yeah, but Bob, would you agree that we hear about them more now, not only as a narrative being pushed, but also with technology? In the 80s, you had to wait for your news to tell you there was a mass shooting, as compared to today where we can watch live footage. Do you think it's just a abundance of, yeah, excuse me, do you think it's the change in technology? Well, how about that, gods? Thought you were homeless so you could do it. And that's another thing, man. They think that people would think that, you know, think that they could just take advantage in that way. Oh, this is a homeless person. I could take them and no one would ever miss them. No one's ever going to even know they were gone, you know? It's wild. But yeah, guys, you will see me again. What's today? Tuesday. You'll see me again Thursday night on Kels for Cooking with Kels on her channel. That's 7 Eastern. I'll be back here Friday, 4/20. We do a ride home show, live music. That's just for you guys. You know, we're a channel for and by the people. I do those playlists as an appreciation for everybody who appreciates what we drop, what we do. So definitely going to try to get in touch with Barn for a Too Bad Opinions like ASAP. So fuck your cake. Definitely keep your eyes peeled for all that. We're trying to do some big shit here in 2023, man. I appreciate everybody, but don't go anywhere yet. I see you guys leaving. Don't go anywhere yet. You got to see this little clip. Dirty Kenzo here. I order food or my French fries. I write cheese on the side. You wouldn't fucking believe they did this, would they? They wouldn't do this, would they? They wouldn't put 4 slices of fucking American cheese on the side. What is this? I wanted fucking Cheese Whiz, and they gave me American cheese on the side. Yeah, I appreciate everybody showing all the love. We're bringing Convos back. We're trying to get back in the swing of things. As I said, next week will be a panel. All are invited. I also, just to give you guys a little peek into what we're working on, I am working on a fucking ladies' night that nobody on YouTube will be able to touch. I'm talking women that have never paneled up before. And you will see them, women from the community that you know and love, and you will see them together on this panel. Trying to get it together for you guys. We are trying to get it so we can get everybody's schedules together. But Mom and Bob, Ashlyn Barr did it. Yeah, they sent me fucking slices of cheese on the side. I was done. But yeah, what the hell was I saying there? I forget. But yeah, like I said, I think we have some big things in the future coming. And I'm real excited for this ladies panel, man. Like, it's gonna blow shit out the water. I'll be the only man on there. It'll be literally all ladies from the community that maybe you never heard of. We're trying to get that together. That shit is gonna be fire. Yeah, the food wasn't bad except for the fucking cheese. I'm like, what is this? But yeah, guys, as I said, you seen the topic tonight was hatred. Go through life a little happier, a little more lighthearted. And, you know, we look down, we're too negative, and negativity only breeds more. It's a dark cloud that never leaves your head. You have to make the sunshine shine through. You have to punch a hole in that cloud. You got to grab that cloud, give it a fucking titty twister, smack it in the mouth, and say, listen here, cloud, I'm trying to shine, bitch. And shine the fuck on. Convos, Dirty Kenzo Productions, we taking over.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Dirty Kenzo Productions.
Head over to my brother G-Dub Quinn's live. See y'all next Tuesday. Peace.